In this video, Mario Sonic performs a real-life crash in GT7. At Brands Hatch, we get pushed off into the gravel at Paddock Kill. And in Race C, we've got people in the gravel absolutely everywhere at Sardegna. Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023. We're getting very close to the end of this year and PD have chucked in the Nurburgring apparently. Yes, it's in the background for you. You can see that right there. What exactly are we doing here? Well, it's one lap. You have a one-lap shootout here with a grid start on sports medium tyres. These are the cars that were handpicked for Trial Mountain. We are reusing them here for the Nurburgring. You could argue Trial Mountain is a baby Nurburgring, and that's why I'm assuming they're using them right now. Bit of a push to try and get past here in terms of the racing. So if you don't like it, there are some timestamps there for you if you want to jump to race B or race C. You all know how much I love the Nurburgring, so there is no guide this week, and that's why you can see the bloopers in that timestamp as well. Let's jump straight into the race then, as I pick the BMW M3, and let's see what we can do here at the Nurburgring. Right, here we are then at the start, and people already using the horn, of course they are. We've got people in the Jag, people in the Lexus, a Toyota Supra by Inferno Fox, but of course we're in that BMW M3. Traction control on one, foot to the floor, no need to hold the brake on this one. There's no penalty for the start there as we kick off, heading towards turn number one. So this track, very tight circuit. You know my feelings of this track. It's not a race circuit to me, it's more of a time trial circuit as we continue on down here then in towards the right we go, clipping that curve very nicely as we continue on through and head towards the complex sections. Already fighting up ahead there with a Porsche 911 side by side with Inferno Fox in that Toyota Supra. Looks like they get ahead of them there. That's MGT then looking at the left hand side, but you can see we're all closing up really tight here. That Porsche 911 a little bit more sketchy on the rear end, that car. It certainly is. The BMW M3, well, a more safer choice, which is why I went for it. As Mario Sonic looking down the outside, we just tap Mario there on the back, so we just back out of that, make sure Mario can keep going, and there he does indeed. Disco Stew on the outside then. We'll follow Mario Sonic through up into the P6 then as we head towards Flugplatz. This is a very dangerous corner, and it's the one corner I did practice before joining this race because I didn't want to get this wrong, and we do nail this absolutely fine indeed. Now, we're going to fast forward bits here because, of course, long circuit as we get close to Mario Sonic. I did back out of that. I didn't want to go for any overtake here. You see Mario Sonic losing the rear end, just catches there as we go hard on the brakes into the right-hander. Inferno Fox with a penalty for something. I'm not sure where that cut was, but a 0.5 second penalty all the same as we head to the foxhole. The one where I featured in the E3 video for GT Sport, which is still on YouTube, that you can check out here. So we're going to head down here then, and we're going to head up into the left then. But Mario Sonic loses the rear end on that compression there. Very common thing to happen in real life as well. And Mario Sonic's done it in a GT7. We're going to go around the outside. Really well recovered though by Mario Sonic. Really was indeed as we go into the right then and accelerate out with lots of action still happening up ahead. MGT and Inferno Fox having a duel here as they go into the left-hander. They're both going to head off then. We're going to go on by both of them then. Hopefully, no. But MGT comes back on very nicely indeed. Well recovered there, MGT, as we head down here towards the right hand then. Hard on the brakes into here. Oh, dirt on their tyres for MGT. We'll take advantage of that. Accelerate through. Up into P3 we go. We're not doing too bad on the track. I really am not fond of as we go into the right-hander. And continue on out of here then versus the Porsche. I went side by side here with a Legner in a World Finals event. If you remember that, it was Audi R8 versus Aston Martin. This time it's Porsche versus BMW. Let's see what we can do then. Can we get past anywhere? Not at the moment. That Porsche's got good acceleration here. Nowhere really to go then. Sticking it right in the middle there. No real choice of where I can take there in terms of racing line then as we go up here towards the right hand side we go. No. Oh, the Porsche's going for a move on the Lexus. Oh, hey, that was close, wasn't it? That was close. Well held though. 4 mil up ahead then. Chicken Angel keeps that position then in the Lexus as we head through the right hander then coming up here. That Porsche, it's on the very edge, isn't it? So at Mario Sonic, see it with the Norwegian driver up ahead as we are hard on the brakes. Oh, they've got a bit deep here. Can we get a run out this corner? Try and boost it out of here. Can we get across for the carousel? That is the question. Side by side. There's nowhere to go. I'm going to try the really random line here on the outside of the carousel. I try a bit of drifting there to get around a bit quicker. It doesn't work, folks. Don't try it. You see the Norwegian driver defends once again. Let's go to the straight then here, and let's see what this slipstream is really like on here then. We are catching up to that Porsche very quickly indeed. Can we get the run by them? That is the question. We're at the top speed here of this BMW M3, really. We go alongside, but that Porsche in the slipstream of the Lexus goes back ahead of me here. I have to pull back in there. Chicken Angel up ahead then in that Lexus, losing out to the slipstream as we go in towards left-hander here. Chicken Angel going off, and away. We're up into P2 then. As we come down here towards the end, we saw a big crash here at the World Finals. No crashing here for us though, but can we get by the Porsche? We've got a couple of corners to go then. There's the penultimate one in the left, the final one here of the right. Can we get a good run out of here? That is the question. Not quite as we head towards the line then. The Norwegian driver keeps it really well played there. Brilliant racing, but there will be a lot of crashes here as well. Do keep that in mind. Now, I'm not a Nurburgring master yet. That's a hint to something. Yet. So there is no guide here for you. It's a long guide as well if I was going to do one. So we jump straight into race B then, where we're at Brands Hatch in Group 4. Arguably, Brands Hatch, another mini Nurburgring because it's really hard to overtake on this circuit. What exactly are we doing here? Well, we're doing 5 laps. It's a rolling start on racing hard tyres, and you can only change the brake balance. Now, the Mazda 3 is always going to be a very good car to go to initially in this race, in any Group 4 race, because it can overtake anything on a straight. I used it here, so let's jump to the race and let's have a look exactly what happens. Right then, here we go at Brands Hatch. Shelty picks a Scirocco. Of course you do, Shelty. Now, we're in the Mazda 3, as I explained. One car which can overtake anything on a straight. Now, if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. We do lots of different videos on here, and the weekly race guide comes out nearly every single week without fail, unless I'm on holiday, which is very rare in these days. Up ahead, then Mario Sonic down the inside of Moonwalk then. That's a position game for Mario Sonic. Moonwalk going quite slow here, so I send it down the inside here. We get it stopped with plenty of time to go. Slight clash in there, but I was on the inside, very much alongside, so we will take that position as we continue towards Graham Hill then, slowing it down nicely. I watched a British Toy Car race here, a classic one the other day. Graham Hill was so much better when it was just a nice left rather than the sharp left that we've got there now. So it was very interesting to see, actually. I'd prefer if Brands Hatch went to that. Anyway, we're back at the back of this mid-pack here, the mid-pack battle. We've got a Porsche up ahead of Junior NDI. And the Porsche is not a car I would pick when you're facing a Mazda 3, that is for sure. Or several of them, as we can see in this race. Into the left we go, and let's have a look at the speed difference between these two cars. Look at the difference! This is incredible! It's like a different class of car! Just unbelievable difference of speed. It really does need sorting here, the Mazda 3, as we've got Danny there coming back on circuit there after going off then, as we continue towards turn 1. Mario Sonic Danny inside to Hodgson in that McGann Trophy, another car which will suffer with straight line speed, and it's got all the downforce and then some in that car as we saw it down for the right-hander then. Really good stuff here. Everybody racing clean and nice as we continue on through. Hodgson just staying on circuit there as we go in to the left then. So, of course, I'm just waiting for the back straight here at the Hawthorns, of course, because that way I can just accelerate by and not really worry about overtaking into a corner, because that's where you lose more time than anything, whereas on a straight, I can just accelerate straight on by. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's see the dominance of this Mazda 3 once again in terms of the speed. Look at the speed difference. It's mental. It's actually mental. It's why in my short I said it's a good race pick. It is a good race pick. It's not the fastest car here, the Mazda 3, but it's always a good race pick because you just accelerate by and then they can't get back past you. It's actually mad how fast that car actually is. So we carry on here, bit of fast forward and then in towards the left, Subaru into the back of Mario Sonic. I'm just trying to avoid Mario Sonic. Hodgson was trying to avoid me there as well. Slight tap on the rear, nothing major. Hodgson said sorry for that while we were racing actually in Discord. I mean, you didn't have to, mate. It's all good. I understood exactly what happened there. And Mario Sonic gave me a bump draft there. You didn't have to either. You got hit off. So, I mean, I appreciate it. But yeah, you definitely didn't have to do that. As we continue into turn 1 then, Subaru I think got tapped wide there. And, oh well, yellow flag. An Alfa Romeo 155 somewhere, I don't know where. We're going to have a look at that in the bloopers because I gained a position for free. And I have no idea why. Okay, we're going to continue on in this battle then. It's a fight for P5 essentially up ahead as we continue on through here. Once again, we're going to get a really good run on this Subaru. Hard place to overtake here, but we get a clean run alongside here. Very much alongside as we go into this corner. I realise they're still on my outside there. Give them some room and just let them continue on their very close racing indeed as we go in to the left-hander. Let's see what we can do then versus the Subaru. Is it just... Yeah, look at the speed difference. It's madness. It really is madness as we go hard on the brakes. And I just want to break myself a teeny tiny bit here as we continue on. And all side tap, nothing major. Touring car type of contact, that nothing major there at all as we continue towards the start finish line here. Side by side with this Subaru. Can we finally get past here? Gonna go on the brakes and they send it down the inside. And as we go through this corner, they're just gonna push me off there into the gravel trap. That's where I fully expect you to wait up. And you didn't. That was naughty, naughty. Now, the LTT sends it down the inside, as does Danny there. So I'm sort of on the outside here, trying to be cautious. I've got dirt on my tyres as well, of course, as we continue on through here. The Audi TT goes past me. Look at that. My old baby there, the Audi TT. How many times did I race that in GT Sport? No good, though, in GT7, I'm afraid. Oh, Herb into the back of Disco Stew. You need to wait up there as well, I'm afraid, because there is contact and you were the car behind. Anyway, we're going to head towards the left-hander here. They go defensive, and let's see what the Mazda 3 is like versus the LTT. Remember, same drivetrain here, so they should be exactly the same. But again, completely different class here. Clean on by before you know it. As we go into the right-hander, round the outside, we continue on. It's got better handling, better top speed as we go into the last lap. Last corner here, Danny up ahead. We had a good lap here, and we're going to look down the inside there, and it looks like Danny turned into me there. It really does. And you can see there, I'm on about weaving because you were going left, then came right. Wasn't too happy with that one. We'll have a look at the bloopers, of course, in a bit more detail as to exactly what happened there. But a TCR 1, 2, 3. Well played, Shelty, Cyan, Inferno Fox. Happy days indeed. Right, next up then is the track guide, of course, for Brands Hatch. And on the left-hand side, we have a 2-board into turn 1. That is your brake marker. Now, I'm in the Toyota Supra for this time trial lap. And the reason I'm in the Toyota Supra is because it's a better handling car and it can carry a bit more speed. So I would advise using Toyota Supra as your time trial car. You can always chuck the Mazda 3 in the race, of course. Through the right-hander we go. Clip the inside. Maintain 90 miles an hour if you can. That is the apex speed there as we head up towards Druids. Now, on the left-hand side, I'm using the green part of the barrier there. It is orange as well. It's just the daylight's changed it a little bit as my brake marker. You can try and use the gantry up ahead, but it's a bit too far forward in my opinion. So I'd advise using that left-hand side marker that I've highlighted for you there. Hard on the brakes and keeping it nice and tight. Start to accelerate out. In a Toyota Supra, it does get a bit sketchy on exit, so keep it straight. Or if you're going to slide, just turn into the side a little bit. It'll straighten out a little bit quicker. Graham Hill then on the right side, you've got the green barrier or the 1 board. They're at the exact same point here. Both can be used as your marker for this left-hander. Just make sure you don't go too wide in towards the curb. You may clip the grass and you may end off heading towards the pit lane there. So going to the left, we clip the curb on the inside. You can use all the curb on the exit, straighten up as quick as you can as we continue towards the next left-hander then. And what we're looking for, once again, is the green part of the barrier or the 1 board on the right-hand side. Similar to the previous corner, okay. So you're going to go hard into this corner in terms of using that marker. But you want to stay on the outside, actually, and keep on the outside. But not too far on the outside, you'll clip the grass and go off. So in the middle of the road, we come back nicely, very late apex, where the white line is for the sector, then accelerate out. You're going to get a bit of oversteer on exit in a lot of cars. Just be careful there as we now continue down this straight. Now, you can breathe a little bit. Use this gantry there as a time reference point. 42-second switch over is what I use there to know if I'm on a good or bad lap. And on the right-hand side, for the fast right-hander is an orange painted barrier or the green marker, whichever one you want to use here. It's there on the right-hand side, nice and easy to spot. As that leaves your screen, hit the brakes and turn in. Maintain 100 mile an hour apex speed here, okay? 100 mile an hour, and you will get through it absolutely fine. Notice that I'm trying to keep 100. I went to 99. I could have stayed at 100. I lost a bit of time there. On the left-hand side, then, we've got an orange painted barrier and a green part of the barrier as well. They're great markers here at Brands Hatch. 4th gear, stay in 4th gear for this corner in the Toyota Supra. Use all the curb on the inside. Now, you may get a little bit of a curb bounce with the weight. It's unfortunate if you do, but use all of the curb on the inside. It really is beneficial. Use all of it on the exit as well, avoiding the sand as we go through Dingle Dell. And on the right-hand side, we're looking for the 1 board there. Okay, now you want to stay out wide as long as possible, because if you turn in too tight, you're going to go a bit too deep into the corner on exit. You want to maintain a wider line to come in, use all the curb on the inside, it straightens up the corner, and you can carry so much more speed. Lots of time to be gained on this corner. And that's what I'm going to do here. Use all the inside. I'm accelerating early here. Use all the exit there just. And on the right side there, we've got this extra fence there to protect the marshals, Bill, Brian, and Steve. We're going to call him Steve. Hello, Steve. Right, on the right side then, use that as your marker, either to start the fence, the marshal, or at the end of the fence. The marshals don't move, which is very nice of them, as we're going to go hard into this corner. Out wide, come in tight. There's a lot of camber on this corner, so you want to take a full inside line if you can, and use a bit of the grass on exit if you need to. Just be careful with that wheel spin on using the grass. The final corner then, the green marker on the left-hand side is your final marker. It's just after this green marker, in fact. It's not on it, it's just after, okay? Now, I would advise staying in a higher gear than you realize in most cars in this situation. Mainly because you don't want the power oversteer on exit. You just want to maintain a nice, clean run through the corner. And that's what I'm going to try and do here. Notice I'm staying in 4th gear, using all of the exit there, and continue towards the inside. Stay on the inside line. You get about half a temp here in time gain, so it's well worth doing. And we cross the line with 29.4. So not too bad of a lap at all. We jump to race C then. Weber in Group 3 at Sardegna Layout A. Yes, this is the really fast one. So you're going to see a lot of fast cars. As you see, Toyota Supras for days there in the background. What exactly are we doing here then? 10 laps, rolling start, race soft and medium tyres both are required. ×2 fuel, ×6 tyre wear. And you can change brake pads and quite a number of parts on the suspension. I chose the Toyota Supra because I know it's a fast car in a straight line and I can overtake people with it, and it's good on racing soft tyres, to be fair. Let's jump to the race. Let's have a look exactly what happens. Right then, here we go. What people pick? Benbow Baggins was flying in that Genesis this morning. They're starting in P1. We got some Supras in here. I did think about the Genesis, to be honest, but I'm quite used to the Supra, so I went with that. You can see the graphic there. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And if you are enjoying this video, do give it a thumbs up as well. I appreciate all the support. Right, into this race then, heading towards turn 1. We are catching Marisonic very quickly here, which I was quite surprised about as we go hard into the brakes there. Marisonic defends that very nicely on the inside line. Now, I've started on medium tyres. Highly recommend you either start on the harder compound first and then pit quite early, or quite an interesting strategy this week, and I am going to try this out for Daily Race C. Starting on the soft at the back and letting all the harder compounds pit and gives you a lot of free air. You'll have to do some overtaking towards the end of the race, though. As you can see, lots of crashing going on here. 3 cars all in accidents there. The Ford Mustang returns to the circuit, but we're up to P11 after all of that, and Danny has a 4-second penalty. We'll see if that's justified in the bloopers, of course, a little bit later on as Marisonic goes down the inside then at Danny. Danny's looking towards the outside then, and we've got Bahamas racing in that Mazda RX Vision GT3 car as we continue on through here side by side with Danny then as we head towards the fast right-hander and into the left. If we keep on the outside, we should have the inside line, then in towards the right we go. Slowing the car down nicely. Beautiful racing there with Danny as we continue on out of here. Danny going for that cut back then. Not quite working though as we head in towards the braking zone. Danny looking down the inside and unfortunately going to tap Marisonic. Marisonic goes, thankfully for me, as we continue on out of there, and we do gain from that. So we're into P8. Lap 2, I decided the tyre wear isn't drastic enough, so that's why I do come in the pits, and that's why I recommend the strategy I did talk about earlier on. Leave the pits then on racing soft tyres. Bahamas Racing did come in the pits on lap 1 as they go by in that Mazda Vision GT3 car. Now, I did do a Beat the Meta in this car, Beat the Meta video the other day. Make sure you check that out in that car, and we can hear that engine. Oh my word, it sounds glorious, doesn't it? It's very loud as well, to be honest with you, as we head towards the left-hander, hard on the brakes. And I'm all thinking about the straight here in terms of overtaking that car, because this Supra is going to be much quicker than that Mazda, I feel. As we leave that corner then, we're going to exit, and we are catching Bahamas very quickly. Bahamas indicates to say go towards that left-hand side, so I do that as we go hard on the brakes in towards the left, maintaining the inside line, accelerate as early as I possibly can. Bahamas going to get a bit of a run here, but decides to stay behind me here as we continue on. We're actually going to see that Mazda start dropping off a little bit, actually, in terms of the speed there. You can see it dropping off now as we advance to lap number 5. Not much has happened in this race. We get to lap number 5 where we catch up to this Ferrari of Ganso_51. Goes towards the right-hand side. I think they indicated there as well. The Supra just dominates in a straight line. It really does. There are a couple of cars that can match it, of course. The Ford GT LM Spec 2 car, I think it's that one. That's very good, of course. Lap number 8 then. Yellow flag up ahead. Not much happening in this race, to be honest with you. It's really going to happen on the first lap and the last lap, to be honest. It's not really going to happen in the middle because everyone's doing that strategy of pit on lap 1 or lap 9. As we continue on through here, the Ford Mustang going a bad day of it there. Hits the barrier on the right-hand side as we go to lap number 9 then. And we got Danny behind us. Funny little bug as well today. My Ford GT road car time was on the leaderboard here for Daily Race C for some unknown reason. I will post a screenshot on Twitter later on for all to see, and on Discord as well, of course. If you're not involved in Discord, do check it out. Danny getting very close here. I go defensive then with 1.5 laps to go. We're going to go hard on the brakes in towards this left-hander. Danny obviously looking for a cut back here as we continue on through there. Does Danny get it? Not quite. Oh, it's going to be close here. It's very close indeed. Danny's just on my left rear quarter then. Danny pit lap 1, and Danny has caught up to me again here. Through the right we go. In towards the left. We are defending very nicely. You can see the leaders starting to come in then on that soft tyre. Unfortunately, Benbow Baggins did disconnect during the race as we go hard on the brakes because Benbow was flying. Benbow was on for the victory here, if I'm honest. Benbow really was. As we continue on out of here then, Danny still in my rear view, but a lot of slipstreaming to go here. Long start finish straight. Really is a long one as we go through the right-hander then and head onto here. So I decided I'm going to stick towards the left-hand side here and see what Danny can do around the outside. Like previous corners, to be honest with you. We're coming out the pits up ahead. We've got two more cars here. We've got Sonic and Dino there. And it all gets very tight very quickly. 4 wide at one point, but we all survive it there as we go into the left-hander. That all got mighty close very quickly. Heading towards the last corner, though, I'm going to have a bit of a moment here because I forget about braking for the last corner. I go straight into the barrier. Oh dear, what a moment. I give you all these brake markers. I used 100 for days today, and yeah, it still didn't work out. I did have a look on the old radar and map, saw it was safe to come back on, so that's what I did here as we head towards the last corner. We have damage, so I'm keeping in the middle of the road here to try and defend the Ferrari's going to send it down the inside, but I can't really do much here. There's a slight tap between us two. They lifted off as well, to be fair to them. And Mario Sonic going to capitalize there, threading a needle down the middle, and actually gets the position there. We finish in P6 because one driver forgot to use both compounds of tyre. That was Metal 8 Racer. And that is going to be it there. See me laughing my head off, really, because I made that silly mistake. That could have been a podium for me. Right, let me explain how to do this lap guide. Showing you the brake mark for the last corner as well later on in this guide. But heading in towards turn 1, I would advise using the 100 board or the red barrier on the right-hand side. Use either of them. You can see I'm going on the brakes now. It's just before the 100. You can use more of the curb if you want to, but I found it a little bit slippy, if I'm honest. I found it fine just to stay off the curb, and that's what I'm going to do here as I go onto the brakes. You can use a bit more of the blue is what I meant there. I stay in second gear in the Supra as I exit the corner. You're going to have to be careful power oversteer if you do that as we go through the left-hander then and head up towards this very interesting chicane, I would say. So what we're looking for here, you can use the 50 board, and that's why I've highlighted it, but I actually use the end of the stadium on the left-hand side. It's banging, that brake marker. It's perfect. I don't know why it's that good, but, you know, it is good. That's what I'm trying to say there on the left-hand side. So as that hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brake. So I drop down to second gear to bring it towards the left-hand side as quick as I can. And you can see that catchment fence there on the left-hand side. Be braking before that gets to the edge of your screen, okay? For the right-hander. You want to have a really nice line for the right-hander. Longer acceleration period. It's better to compromise the left to get a good line for this right-hander. So I'm actually going to short shift to third during this corner. I found it much better on exit for some reason. Stopped the power oversteer and it just went. And it was just perfect in the Supra. Obviously a different car will vary, of course, as we head towards the next corner then. It's after the 50 board, okay? I have no decent marker after this. You can use a bit of the bushes. There is a gap there if you want to use that. But the 50 board is a constant marker that you can use. It's after the 50 board. Keep that in mind. After. Don't go too late. You don't want to go wide on this corner. You want to keep it quite tight, to be honest. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm looking to come towards the concrete. And I'm looking for that gap in the trees right there. It is an awesome accelerating marker for the straight. If you can nail it, and don't get oversteer on the exit, because you will suffer a bit of power oversteer on exit. If you can get it right, using that gap, oh my word, the amount of time you can gain on exit is unbelievable. And look at the speed I carried there. It's beautiful as we head up here then towards the next braking zone. What we're looking for then is the 100 board, and we are braking before it. You can see I've started braking now. You have to brake before the 100 board. If you brake on it, you're going to go a bit deep. That's all I'm saying. Brake before it. And that's what we have to do here. So hard on the brakes into this hairpin. It's better again to take a tight line and get a nice exit than going deep and then coming back on yourself. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. And I'm going to start to accelerate in second gear there. A bit of a short shift and keep close to the barrier. This is where it all gets very interesting now, of course, because it's a fast flowing right into a left coming up, okay? And I'd recommend you lift off here and make sure you get as close to this on the right hand side that I've marked there. That is your marker for the left-hander. You do have to brake for this. You want to turn towards the barrier and hope you get a tiny bit of understeer so you just miss it. That's the goal here, okay? To chuck it in, get as close to the barrier, but just enough to miss it and don't hit it. As you go through here, look how close I am there, and I can accelerate through the corner. Now, the brake marker I missed in the race because, for reasons, I've no idea why. The 100 board, I've been using it all morning before I started this race. The 100 board right there is your brake marker, okay? I'm going to go hard on the brakes in a straight line. And I'm going to, what you should do is drop to first gear, then short shift to second gear on exit, and you will actually carry a better amount of speed here. And I've dropped to first gear there, short shift to second, there we go. So I do it on this lap. Throw it out, happy days indeed. And then it's straightforward all the way to the line. It's flat out all the way there as we go through the right-hander, head towards the line, and we got a 139.1. 138.7 is going to be around where it's going to be, or 0.6. Bloopers time then, and there Mario Sonic dabbed the brakes on the compression. That was the reason for losing the rear end on the Porsche there, and you're going to see me looking around the outside there in that BMW M3. Inferno Fox did go into the back of MGT, did go into the back, so you can see Inferno Fox is trying to stay behind MGT here, allow MGT to come back on, and then Inferno Fox does as well. Brilliant sportsmanship, as always, there from the TCR driver. Here we have Shelty, a bit earlier on in the lap. I did wonder what happened to Shelty as I saw the comments afterwards. So here we go. In the Jaguar, just loses the rear a little bit here with the weight transfer of that Jag. Obviously, the weight is very much one-sided there. And, rear-ended in the back by Arkies. We'll have a look at Arkies. Arkies didn't really have control of that, but we're talking about a spear on Discord. It was kind of funny, really. You see Arkies waiting there. Beautiful sportsmanship, of course. Wait to hear. The Porsche's going to lose the rear end, and Arkies can't really do much there. Just a passenger as we slow it down there. And Arkies is going to wait for Shelty then just after the corner. So good stuff there. Hard on the brakes. Right, here we go. We've got the Subaru into the back of Mario Sonic there. Should have waited up after that one because that is your mistake. You went into the back of the car. What happened to this Alpha then? So coming through the right-hander, we just overtook them randomly here. Oh, okay. The common thing, clip the gravel and get speared right because of the compression there as well. So we are alongside the Subaru here. So we had left right for the corner and we did brake there just to give him a bit of room there to sound circuit. That's all fair in my opinion as we go into the left-hander then. In towards the last corner here, around the outside. We had enough room on the inside for them there, and they used that. So that's all good, that. No issues there at all. As we head up towards the right-hander, slight movement in the braking zone then, hard on the brakes. In towards the right we go, and we're still alongside here, and then, yeah, you just pushed off there. Maybe not as bad as I thought. Let's have a look at it from their perspective then. In towards the right. They're flat out, flat out. No, you do need to lift off a little bit more there, I'm afraid. That was you should have waited up after it as well. We've got Lupino here on the Captain Stupendos. Disco Stew. Well, they're doing the same thing. Accelerating through the corner as if the car isn't there and force the Aston Martin driver off. We've got Danny here. So this is the incident at the end of the race. Let's have a look. Danny's sort of in the middle there. Turns towards the right then to sort of block it off, essentially. Let's have a look at it from my perspective as we go through here. So I can see Danny's going towards the left, which is fine. That's why I go towards the right and then turns right. Bit blocky that, if I'm honest, Danny. A bit blocky in the grand scheme of it. Right, what happened here then? So in towards the left we go. We've just got the McLaren off there. We need to look at that in a bit more detail. Oh, okay. That was just a Constantino effect there between those. So Danny didn't deserve the penalty for that one, I would say. Look at it from Captain Stupendous' view there. Oh, tap from behind into the McLaren. Okay, so that wasn't your fault here. Oh, and another tap from behind. What, Disco Stew, you've had a nightmare today. You've just been bumped everywhere from the rear. Let's have a look at this incident then. This was Danny on Mario Sonic. So this was good racing with Danny, to be fair, through that right and left. Going to head towards the braking zone then, hard on the brakes. And yeah, Danny released him a little bit too much there. And Danny, to be fair, is actually waiting up here for Mario Sonic, even though the penalty is about to be taken as well. So really good sportsmanship there from Danny. Really well played indeed. So what happened to this driver? We did see a yellow flag on this corner, accelerating through the corner. Oh, they lose the rear end. And off into the gravel. So that was the end of their race. And let's have a look at the blooper you all want to see. Me completely missing the braking zone. Look at that. So I go in a straight line in braking because I know I'm going to avoid Danny up ahead. And it's straight into the barrier there. That slows me down. So I did get damage from that. No wall penalty, though, interestingly. The barrier penalty seems to be off for this race, which is very interesting indeed. I didn't get a 1.5 second penalty. That would normally be the case. You see here, stuck in the middle lane to keep defensive driving there. Not sure that overtake was really on there, to be fair, but I did see it last second, tried to take avoiding action. But Mario Sonic going through the middle. And that's going to be it in terms of this video. If you did like it, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content. I do appreciate all the support. The Beat the Metal that I talked about with the Mazda GT3 car is on the left-hand side. And another video on the right if you want to check that out in terms of content. Once again, a big thank you for watching. And I hope you're ready soon because I'm about to become a Nurburgring master. Interesting.